The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The Tomahawks prepare players to compete at the highest level, providing access to the best regional and national tournaments for maximum exposure. More than 1,000 alumni have gone on to compete at the collegiate level, including the ACC, Big Ten, Big East, Ivy, Patriot, NESCAC, NE10, and more. At the New Hampshire Tomahawks, players train with the same coaches and teammates, building elite skill, chemistry, leadership, and confidence. Every session combines high-level, position-specific instruction for all positions. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18 and spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18 and spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Hello, everyone, and welcome here to Exeter. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you, getting set for the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship game between top seed Portsmouth and number 2 Souhegan. This one, a rematch from last year's state championship game that was won by Portsmouth. Clippers looking for their third straight Division I crown, hoping to cap off an undefeated season with a victory here tonight. Souhegan, after coming up short a year ago, well, they're right back in the same spot, hoping to capture their first title since 2017. These two teams met way back on April the 20th. Just the second game for Portsmouth, game number 3 for Souhegan. That game was in Amherst, and that was a Portsmouth victory, 11-5. Since then, the Sabres have not lost. They come in winners of 15 straight. Portsmouth, as I mentioned, undefeated, riding a 17-game win streak. Big crowd, gorgeous weather, starting lineup set to be announced here on the field. And we're getting set for what should be, Kristen, an instant classic here on the final game, the championship day here in Exeter.
These are two powerhouse teams, very familiar with each other, and two head coaches even more familiar with each other, as we've got sisters battling on either side of the field tonight.
McKinley Spordone, the Souhegan head coach, her sister JoJo Kerrigan. So bragging rights on the line here tonight as well. Souhegan in the road, blacks here. Going to head right to left in this first quarter. Portsmouth as the higher seed in the home whites. Two senior goaltenders in net. Sage Boussier for Portsmouth, Molly Benson for Souhegan. And star power, Kristen, certainly on both sides. Future NCAA student athletes putting their skills on display here tonight.
We essentially have a Division I starting lineup on this field.
We do.
Getting ready to battle this evening. Been so impressed with these players throughout the season, and even the way that they can improve over such a short 2 months. I think when you talk about the April 20th matchup, tonight is anyone's game. A lot can happen in those 2 months, and just even watching these semifinal games, both teams are playing their best lacrosse today.
Nearly 90 degrees down on the field here at game time. Turf field here at Bill Ball Stadium, and basically a packed house here. Student sections cheering on both teams. The heat, does that affect things tonight in your opinion?
It is a factor, especially because both of these teams run so many two-way midfielders. So, if there is a turnover, they're up and back this field. They can be running several miles throughout the course of the game. So expect to see some more settled possessions as they give their players a chance to catch their breath and recover during this heat.
Three officials. Kristen Kochenek, Dave Pelletier, Christy Tupin, three of the game's best. Set for this final. This one on the ground, going to roll near side, and it's scooped up by the junior Reagan Lawton, one of the players to watch tonight. She, along with her twin sister Emery, have committed to UPenn. So, meanwhile, Benson out of the goal here, and that's going to force a Portsmouth turnover. High IQ play by the senior Molly Benson to make that pass tough. It ends up with Souhegan.
That's a big play by Benson early in the game, showing the level of confidence and energy that she has heading into this evening. She wasn't afraid to come out of that crease and makes a big statement play early on.
Meanwhile, trying to grind her way towards midfield is the sophomore, make it the junior Sophie Jacobs. A nice touch pass there on the far side will get it done. Souhegan goes on the attack for the first time with just about a minute gone by in this opening quarter. Both teams, as we mentioned, riding monster win streaks. Portsmouth undefeated, now 17-0. That includes the tournament victories over Bedford and Exeter. Souhegan nearly just as hot. They've won 15 straight. They topped BG and Pinkerton in overtime back on Saturday to advance. This is Izzy Stevenson, one of two future Boston University Terriers on the team for Souhegan. There's a sidewinder shot that's going to end up wide left. A deep attempt there by Avery Curran, the sophomore. And a quick restart here has got Souhegan right back on the attack. Shot, score. Comes from the far side wing. A step down is going to get the Sabres on the board first. It's Libby Kennedy. Mentioned BU. They're getting Stevenson and Kennedy. And right now, Souhegan getting what they want on the first possession. It's 1-0 Sabres.
Great look from Emmy Curran there. She makes this feed above the 12 meters, so she's pretty high up there. Really good spacing by the Sabres early on. They've got the Clippers defense pulled out, which gives Kennedy this space to cut to the inside. Not a lot of traffic, no other defenders there to contest her. She's able to catch and finish that one with ease.
Got the Sabres sideline fired up. And the fans who made about a 40-minute trek from Amherst happy with what they've seen here through the first 100 seconds.
That goal there, that started with Benson. Defensive plays, big stops like that cause turnovers. Those create offense. So having those extra possessions make all the difference in a competitive game like this.
This time, Souhegan captures the draw. Good play by Stevenson on the near wing. So the Sabres looking to cash in yet again here early in the game with 2 minutes gone by. Got a whistle here away from the ball. And the official's going to talk here for a moment.
Yeah, it looks like referee, David Pelletier, he called a 3-second violation. So that's going to send Ava Barrows behind Stevenson there. Again, it's a minor foul, so she's not going to be set up on the 8-meter. She wasn't a shooting threat in the critical scoring area.
Meanwhile, Kennedy looking for room up top. Finds Stevenson. Stevenson looking to get the step, draws a slide, and we get a second whistle. Again, it's against the defense, and a restart likely coming here from up top.
Yep, they're going to reset again. Curran's going to be on that 12-meter, so they're only going to set the players for a free position shot if the foul occurs within that 8-meter arc, which is considered the critical scoring area.
That's that red circle you can see on the turf. Inside, little jab step, and a nice slide here, driving the player out. When Hickman's pass ends up low, ball takes a high bounce. And this one's scooped in overhead by Lawton. A one-handed grab there by the junior. Two defenders going to escort her down the sideline here. Several whistles. The players did not seem to hear it. They keep playing. The ball goes out of bounds, and it's turned over back to Souhegan. So the Sabres on that ride, they don't quit and ultimately force a turnover on the sideline.
Portsmouth looked good in their backer zone, and it caused that initial turnover. But, I think what happened, tripped up on that sideline, is there's a rule now where you don't have to wait for the official's whistle to restart. So even though the official was whistling and there were fouls against Souhegan, Lawton just kept running. So in that situation, you're actually better off just planting your feet and forcing them to go those 4 meters away from you. So she was forced to run through traffic there, which led to that turnover.
Meanwhile, a rainbow pass. Hickman plays it waist high off the bounce. Souhegan continues to play some keep away here. They've had the ball the majority of this first 4 minutes and have a 1-0 lead.
So again, we're seeing this backer zone with Maddie Houghton, the Oregon commit. She's their backer, which means she is running all around this field.
Nice pass. Stevenson to Kennedy. Goal number 2 for the junior. It's 2-0 Souhegan. Finding a little soft spot there in the defense. Pass on time and on target. And you see Kennedy unload there.
Sabres do a nice job moving the ball, and that goal really starts with a hockey assist from Emmy Curran. So she gets that first pass, she finds Stevenson, who then sees that cutter and Kennedy on the inside. So that quick ball movement, that 1-2, it's forcing Portsmouth on the defense to slide and move, but they're just a bit too slow. And Kennedy timed that cut really nicely for a finish that looked quite similar to her first goal.
Spordone, Coach Spordone. Animated on the sideline here, in tune with the upcoming draw. Liking the way her team has come out of the gate swinging. Souhegan a 2-0 lead, 2 goals from Libby Kennedy. And after winning the draw a moment ago, Souhegan looking to keep that momentum going. Instead, this one is taken by Ginger Vincigara, the Pittsburgh-bound senior. Just did all the work herself there to get her team the ball. Just a second trip here for Portsmouth. Pass taken in the middle. Emery Lawton, back door. That pass knocked down. It ends up with the goaltender. Benson, another good read. She scrambles behind the cage. Lost the ball momentarily. Hooks up with her defender to her right. But the Portsmouth ride is in hot pursuit. We get a whistle. Souhegan will keep possession.
Portsmouth looked a little bit frantic on that offensive possession. They're down 2, which isn't a situation that they've seen much this season. I'm not that surprised by the way this game has started. I think having a tougher semifinal game can really actually benefit you. Souhegan battled until the very end in overtime to make it here, and so they were playing and fighting for an entire game compared to Portsmouth, who had a running clock by the end of the game, and they were, really, settled and comfortable with a lead throughout that game. And so that can really affect the way that you approach this championship.
It was quite the contrast back on Saturday as we get a whistle here. Semifinal Saturday here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasted, of course, in conjunction with the NFHS Network. A wire-to-wire win for Portsmouth over Exeter. 15-4 was the final there. And Souhegan trailed the entire way against Pinkerton by as many as 5 in the third quarter. They got a last-second goal to send the game into OT and then won it in the final minute of overtime, 8-7, an instant classic, which, by the way, is still up and available to view under the archives section on the NFHS network. We get a whistle, and now it looks like a free position shot is on the way for Izzy Stevenson. Like that, Avery Curran, her shot ends up wide. Tough to see between number 1 and number 7, I apologize, but that's Avery Curran, who went north of the crossbar there on the attempt.
Nick, and I'm going to give you a tip. We've got different hairstyles. We'll look for the braids and on Izzy Stevenson and a bow with a ponytail on Curran.
Meanwhile, Kennedy, tough catch. This time it's Boussier with the save. Her outlet pass ends up on the turf near midfield. There's a collision at the 50. Portsmouth set for the clear here. First save either way. Is Boussier able to read that one? Keep this score at 2-0.
Yeah, Boussier does a nice job reading Kennedy on that one. Kennedy got snuck 2 past her on that off stick side high placement, and she was ready for that third shot in a very similar spot. So goalies are going to learn the attacker's tendencies, and so she was ready for it that time.
2-0 Sabres. Portsmouth trying to get on the board. Top seed and undefeated defending champs will do just that right here as Reagan Lawton, perfectly placed bouncer there, beats the goaltender Benson Lowe. And Portsmouth feeling good now on the board. It's 2-1 Souhegan.
It wasn't an if, but a when. We were going to get a Lawton on the scoreboard early in this game. Reagan Lawton is fired up. She took that one herself. She does a nice job. She tucks underneath Curran. She beats 2 defenders. And stick protection is really key when you're going to dodge like that. Keeps her stick tucked into her body and then puts it low. Great placement.
Portsmouth, after a slow start, jumping around on the sideline now. Coach Kerrigan roaming up and down in front of the bench, addressing her team. A battle of sisters on the sidelines here, if you're just joining us, and a rematch of last year's state championship. Portsmouth looking for their 3rd straight D1 title. Portsmouth looking for their first since 2017. This one a rematch of a regular season meeting in late April. Clippers have won 2 of 3 in the draw circle so far. We get a rematch between Vince Aguara and Emmy Curran. We have early movement against Portsmouth. Things now even at 2 apiece in the circle. Sabres back on the attack as we approach the 4-minute mark here. First quarter. First of 2 state championship games to be played here at Bill Ball Stadium tonight. The D2 final comes your way at 7:30 Eastern.
Sabres have been consistent in how they start their offensive possessions. They like to settle it, get each player a touch, work it through X before they look to feed and set up their 2-man and 3-man screens.
Some contact above the shoulders here from the defender, Reagan Lawton. As the officials seemingly have called things pretty tight here through the first now 8+ minutes.
Yeah, officials are especially they're looking for those sticks up high, making contact above the shoulder, and any kind of extension or a horizontal stick are pretty much going to be an automatic call.
And of course, 3 officials on the field for all tournament games, as opposed to 2, which is usually the scenario for regular season action. This one is up for grabs. Scooped up on the run by Lily Patterson, another NCAA-bound athlete, but Patterson runs out of room on that sideline. Good defensive effort there by the senior, Eva Stiles, for Souhegan. Well, one of the areas you like to watch, Kristen, is between the 30s, right? So far, that's been an area, a consequential area, at least through the first now 9 minutes.
Yeah, and Souhegan is winning that battle between the 30s right now. Their ride has been strong. Their clear has been solid. That's all about effort.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play, first quarter. 2 Libby Kennedy goals got Souhegan out in front early. Reagan Lawton had an answer a moment ago. Sabres looking to rebuild a 2-goal lead here on the attack. Given room is the junior Stevenson. Hits the gas, picked up off the switch, and draws a whistle.
Yeah, so that was an example there of a horizontal stick with the extension of the arm. So you are allowed to make contact between stick and player's body. You just can't extend your arms into them.
Final 100 seconds, first quarter. Souhegan taking a patient approach here. Now a split dodge. Avery Curran shot. Save Boussier. Quick outlet. Bouncer knocked down at the 30, but there's Reagan Lawton for the Clippers. A couple of saves for Boussier, and that can certainly inject some juice on the sideline.
Yeah, she's come up big with 2 stops there, and then she's outletting the ball quickly, which is generating that transition offense opportunity for her team.
Well, some contact on the pass. And a restart coming here. Final minute. Portsmouth looking to tie. Reagan Lawton going into the teeth of the defense there. Had to pull it back out. Once again, the official Dave Pelletier is going to blow the whistle. Quick restart. Portsmouth hungry to tie the game. You go behind the cage. Wraparound shot denied. Loose ball far side. And out of the pack comes Georgia Bouvier. Quinnipiac bound. Key ground ball there. Extends the Portsmouth possession. We hit 30 seconds to play first quarter.
See that Souhegan is playing really aggressive defense. They are all over and looking for those back checks.
Shot and score. Reagan Lawton again. Not to be denied there. Kept the pressure on. And a blazing shot has us tied at 2.
Lawton really handled the physicalness really well during that set. She got roughed up a couple times by Stevenson, but she didn't let it deter her. And so players who can endure that contact and really handle it and remain composed are really successful. And you see the way that she breaks through, handles that contact, and is able to finish the shot regardless.
Reagan and Emily Lawton, both headed to the University of Pennsylvania. Of course, Coach Garrigan going to have them back next year. Both are still juniors.
A really impressive junior class with Lawton, and Georgia Bouvier. They make a excellent trio on the offensive end, but one player who I'm expecting to heat up is Elliot Blankensop, the sophomore for Portsmouth. She had a really big semi-final game, especially when, some of your top players are defended more closely and have a lot of the attention, can really open up opportunities for that next player up, like Blankensop.
Yep. Well, this one turned over. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Well, we expected things to be tight tonight. 12 minutes in, we're tied at 2. Souhegan and Portsmouth look to gain an advantage somehow, some way, when we come back from the break. Second quarter. On the other side, you are watching the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18, and spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, so far so good here in Exeter. Championship Tuesday, first of two state titles here at Bill Ball Stadium. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron. It's the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship between Portsmouth and Souhegan. This one a rematch of both an April 20th regular season contest that was won by Portsmouth and also a rematch of last year's state championship. A battle of two sisters on the sideline, plenty of NCAA talent, and two big win streaks on the line as well. Portsmouth hoping to do it a third straight year, this time undefeated. An 18th straight win would be necessary for that. And, of course, Souhegan, their only loss was against Portsmouth back on 4/20. Since then, 15 straight wins and looking for revenge. They hope to bring home a trophy for the first time in nearly a decade. 2-2, Kristen, after 12 minutes.
Both teams have come out aggressive defensively, playing high pressure, going for those back checks. We saw goalies making big plays, even interceptions getting involved there. But one thing that leaves to be determined is who's going to be victorious at the draw circle. This is really key. That's what gave Souhegan that boost at the start of the game. They won a couple draws, caused early turnovers in the midfield, and those extra possessions were key for them to get out to that 2-0 lead.
This one loose. Picked up by Portsmouth. Reagan Lawton, 2 goals for the Clippers, a few ground balls as well. Here's the clear by Haley Stahlkamp, the junior, able to navigate that far sideline. Being hounded, however, by the defender, Sophie Jacobs. Max effort both ways. We expected that. We've seen that. High energy. The rides have been challenging. And really top-notch lacrosse here on display, at least so far in this first half.
Yeah, Portsmouth has had some turnovers that are uncharacteristic of them. That could be championship nerves a little bit coming into play. But overall, I think, once they take a breath, settle into this game, I expect to see some more composure within their clear and getting settled into their offense.
Some of that, though, is the pressure from Souhegan, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you have watched this Sabres team play all season, especially in their last couple games, they're relentless in their ride and trying to cause those early turnovers defensively. So that's something that you have to be prepared for.
Meanwhile, Kennedy is going to give this back to Portsmouth. Good team effort there defensively by the Clippers.
Good team effort and great call by the official there, seeing that the defenders had their position established. So if the defenders' feet are planted, you cannot run through them. So if you are trying to force your way through and move their sticks or their body, you're going to get called with that offensive charge. So
similar
call
to
there.
a charge in basketball. Same idea.
Yep, exactly. Especially if you turn your back into the player or anything like that, that's a giveaway that it's a charge.
So here's Portsmouth. They trailed 2-0. You got 2 goals late in that first quarter from Reagan Lawton, and now they are looking for their first lead as Lawton takes a pretty good shove there from the defender. It was Kennedy. Here's Vince Agar on the move. Shot there from the lefty. It's a few inches high. Quick restart for Souhegan. Turnaround shot knocked down by Benson, and she's got an inch to spare there on the goal line, scooping it up in the crease. Her first save comes 2.5 minutes into this second quarter.
Sophie Jacobs is one of Souhegan's top defenders who's matched up there against Bouvier, and she did a good job forcing her. She didn't let her get that inside. She was looking for that crease roll. She kept her high and forced a suboptimal shot for Bouvier, and Benson was able to snatch that one up.
3 minutes in, second quarter. Hickman double team finds Avery Curran. A little bit of room here on the near wing. The junior instead elects to change position. Fires a backdoor pass that's tipped. Loose ball heading to the end line. And the officials say somebody stepped out of bounds. I'm going to keep this right here with Souhegan.
Yeah, that was a tricky one because it was a, pass. Couldn't tell if it was going to go out, what they were going to call, and those ground balls on the end lines are tough to navigate.
Avery Curran tried to go backdoor, nobody home, and it's played off the bounce by Boussier. Long outlet, on target. Stallkamp, a sprint to midfield. Clear complete for the Clippers. Got a big crowd here in Exeter. Hot day on the seacoast. Temperature about 90 degrees when we started. And some fans continuing to file in here. The near side bleacher is basically full. And we've got a standing student section behind the Portsmouth bench. Students rocking the maroon and white colors. Meanwhile, up top, Reagan Lawton. Been on a mission in this first half. Looking to get the step. Tough angle shot, a little high there. It'll stay at this end with Portsmouth.
The theme of this game has been sisters, so we saw some two-man action between the Lawton twins there. Looking to see if she could find Emery open in the middle.
Shake and bake there. Pretty footwork from Bouvier, but that ball doesn't come out cleanly. Benson plays the ground ball. And now Souhegan looks to work left to right out of their own end. 5 minutes in, second quarter. Been tied at 2 since the start of the frame. What's been sort of a defensive-minded first half for both teams. Little contact here against the defender at Stallkamp.
It really has been a defensive show. I also think, for the offensive players, you don't have to do it yourself. So I've seen a lot of, trying to dodge through traffic and trying to make that first take go. And sometimes it's all about if a take isn't there, pull it out, move the ball. You have 6 other teammates who are capable and ready to help you out.
Both coaches have been very engaged as well, moving up and down the sidelines. Haven't stayed put for more than a few seconds here. Very on hands here. 2 sisters looking for bragging rights. Coach Kerrigan won the whole thing last year. Coach Spordone hoping to return the favor. Souhegan, 2 goals early from Libby Kennedy. Portsmouth answered with 2 from Reagan Lawton in the final minutes of that first quarter. We've been scoreless since. We hit the midway point here, second quarter.
We had a double team here all over Avery Curran. Souhegan has been attempting to move the ball as Portsmouth continues to be in that zone. That means that they're putting 2 players on ball and they're leaving someone open on the backside. So the key to beating a zone is to keep the ball zipping. You've got to move the ball really fast, find that open player.
Nearly a turnover. And now another ground ball. Big pile up here in front of the net. And finally, scooped up by Emmy Curran for Souhegan. Another whistle. And another restart for the Sabres. We move toward the 5-minute mark. What's been a fast-moving first half. Stevenson repelled 3 defenders in the area, and a bit of a late whistle here by the trail official. May see a free position shot here. Izzy Stevenson, Boston University bound, the junior. Going to toe the line from 12 yards out, tries the bouncer. Right idea, but a bit wide. A foot race will keep it with Souhegan.
Stevenson coming off a huge game where she scored the OT winner, sending her team to the championship.
Meanwhile, Kennedy in a crowd tried the backhand shot there. And a whistle on the ensuing ground ball again. And this time we've got a penalty. The yellow card is out.
The yellow card there sidelines Libby Kennedy for 2 minutes. Now, she wasn't where the ball went out, which makes me think if she took that shot, she may have hit another player with her stick. So a dangerous follow through or a dangerous propel. So if you hit a player or a defender with your stick or the ball, it's an automatic yellow card. So she'll be sidelined for 2 minutes, which means Portsmouth will be a player up. And if they do score, it's still a non-releasable penalty.
That's a fine line to walk if you're a shooter, right?
It is, yeah. You got to keep that in mind. The refs are looking for it, so you want to make sure you have space.
Emery Lawton is going to cash in on the penalty. Pretty dodge there. The right-hand shot is going to give Portsmouth their first lead as this Clipper crowd explodes with 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Emery Lawton joins the scoring party. She was so determined there. She dodged with power. I love the way she gets her hands away from her body. If you're a player watching this, that's something you want to emulate. Shooting like that gets you so much more power. She had her stick up high and she finishes low past Benson. And now as they head back to the draw control, Portsmouth possession means that they can have another opportunity to be a player up. This is a key draw control, though, also for Souhegan, because should they win this, they can kill the rest of the penalty by playing keep away.
Clippers trailed 2-0. Inside of 5 minutes to go first quarter. They get 2 before the end of that frame, and then they cash in off the Souhegan mistake. Emery Lawton makes it 3-2. Souhegan's going to get the draw. And now Emmy Curran going to pass to her left as the Sabres look to set up the attack here. Still shorthanded with Kennedy sitting in the penalty box. Pass knocked down. Recovered by Meredith Highmark, the sophomore attacker. Highmark trying to shift around, changing direction. 2 defenders in the area, hooks up with Avery Curran, and now back out to Stevenson.
So Portsmouth defense has to make a decision here. Do they chase this ball with their extra defender and try and double team? The risk of that, though, is you just exhaust yourselves chasing this ball around. You also could just, choose to settle in. You don't have possession. Hope you see some kind of turnover.
Still got about 35 seconds remaining on the penalty. See how aggressive Portsmouth wants to play it here. Reagan Lawton coming out to meet Stevenson. 2 of the better talents statewide, one-on-one here on the sideline. Down to 20 on the penalty. Sabres looking for their first goal since the 7:32 mark of the first quarter.
And really a low-scoring game to see only 5 goals almost through 2 quarters. And not something that's typical of either team, but both teams' defenses have really stepped up today.
We're back to even strength, and we've got a timeout down on the field as Coach Spordone wants to talk it over. Portsmouth with a 3-2 lead. 2:21 to play until halftime. Coming up at halftime. Stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, and a preview of the Division II state championship game, which comes your way later tonight between defending champion Winnicott and the dark horse of the tournament, Hanover, the number 5 seed. Should be a fun one. We begin things at about 7:30 Eastern. All right, the Clippers, Kristen, undefeated, not used to trailing. They find themselves in a 2-0 hole midway through that first quarter. Since then have scored 3 straight and have kept Souhegan off the board. What has been the key?
They are not afraid to take it to the cage. So the Lawtons just having that confidence to dodge and play hard, that has been really their offensive juice. I also think, Boussier comes up with a couple big saves that gave them a boost. But Souhegan has been just so impressive defensively that the way that they've been aggressive. You're not going to hold off the Lawtons forever, but they've done about as good as they can as shutting down all the other options.
What's going on in the Souhegan huddle?
I think they needed a second to reset there. They played a possession, player down. Oftentimes when you release a yellow card, there's a little bit of chaos adding a player back in. So good idea with that timeout. Give her team a rest because they need to make the most of these 2 minutes. They want to go into halftime at the very least tied up. And so this offensive set is really key, and especially to talk about what Portsmouth is doing defensively. Beating a zone is very strategic. And so I bet that this conversation is really about how to get through that backer.
Coach Kerrigan in the middle of that Portsmouth huddle, hoping to guide her squad to their third straight Division I championship. They were dominant at the D2 level for a long time, made the jump up, went to the championship immediately, fell against Bedford. That was back in 2023. They return, get it done in 24. Impressive last year, defending that title in 25, and then undefeated now through 17 total games in 2026. Hoping to get over the finish line for the three-peat. Souhegan, runner-up last year, and winners of 15 in a row themselves after a 15-1 regular season. Tournament wins over Bishop Girton and Pinkerton. Souhegan seeking their first state championship since they won it all back in 2017. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you. The rest of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire family, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network. Winnicott and Hanover in the D2 title coming later tonight. Out of the timeout, Avery Curran is pushed. Goes down, and the officials are going to send the defender to the penalty box. That's Ginger Vincigara, the Pittsburgh commit. So a penalty each way, and now suddenly after Souhegan was shorthanded just a moment ago, they go on the advantage here with a chance to tie the game. 2:03 on the game clock, 2 minutes even on the penalty.
Yeah, it's pretty much an ideal scenario for Souhegan to have a player up for the rest of the half, essentially. Only a 3-second differential there. So, what they just talked about in their timeout may not exactly apply, but same principles here, zipping the ball around. Portsmouth cannot run their backer being a player down. They've got to, that would leave 2 players open. So this forces Portsmouth to change things up defensively, and Souhegan, again, huge opportunity here.
Avery Curran trying to spin away from Reagan Lawton, going to skip a pass over the top. Hickman, her eye on the cage. We get another whistle away from the ball. Got a shooting space violation?
It looks like three seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah, so in order to have shooting space, you have to be inside that second red arc, so the 8 meter within the critical scoring area.
1 minute remaining. Souhegan hoping to tie the game before halftime. Avery Curran, split dodge to her right, shot there about a foot high.
She put that one low. I think that might have been a goal. It was a beautiful move. Gets free to the inside, but just sails that one high with that underhanded shot.
Down to 30 seconds until halftime. Hickman, good dodge here. This time the bouncer ends up wide. It's still in play, though. Back to the top. Stevenson, 20 seconds. Draws a slide. The junior moving to her right. Goes behind cage. Pass out in front, too high. That'll send Hickman scrambling toward the far sideline. We're down to 10 seconds here in the first half. Hickman recovers. Long pass. High mark swings it. Back out in front. Knocked away from Avery Curran. Good defensive effort by Reagan Lawton will bring us to halftime. The defending champions getting a round of applause from this Portsmouth crowd here in Exeter. They keep Souhegan off the scoreboard in that second quarter, and the top seed will take a 1-goal lead with them into the halftime locker room. 3-2 Portsmouth after 24 minutes of action here in Exeter. Coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, and a preview of the upcoming Division II state championship game between Winnicott and Hanover. Halftime next, Portsmouth 3, Souhegan 2. You are watching the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship game right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The Tomahawks prepare players to compete at the highest level, providing access to the best regional and national tournaments for maximum exposure. More than 1,000 alumni have gone on to compete at the collegiate level, including the ACC, Big Ten, Big East, Ivy, Patriot, NESCAC, NE10, and more. At the New Hampshire Tomahawks, players train with the same coaches and teammates, building elite skill, chemistry, leadership, and confidence. Every session combines high-level, position-specific instruction for all positions. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18 with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18 with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse.
Well, start of the second half here in Exeter. Portsmouth looking for their third straight Division I state championship, a 3-2 lead on the board over Souhegan. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you, and a few thousand folks here at Bill Ball Stadium in Exeter. First of two state championship games coming your way tonight. A defensive-oriented first half, Kristen.
Oh, it sure was. I hope to see some more goal scoring in this second half, but Nick likes a defensive game.
I do.
So, yeah, both teams, though, they really came to play, and I love to see the way that their defenses have progressed throughout the season. They're playing such as a unit. It really speaks to the chemistry that they have as a team. You can see that it's not just, one player can't make plays on defense. It really is a full team effort.
Anything different you see here strategically from either team in the second half?
Yeah, I think both teams took them a second to settle in. We saw some uncharacteristic turnovers on both sides early in the game. Definitely saw them settle in as the second half progressed. But one thing that I'd like to see, play a little bit of faster offense. See what happens if you push the transition. Both teams have been very comfortable settling into their, offensive sets. But sometimes what you need to do to catch a tough defense off guard is just play fast and play early.
Portsmouth going to even up things in the draw circle. 4-4 after the Clippers win the first here of the third quarter. Souhegan, they scored the first 2 goals of the game, both by junior Libby Kennedy. Portsmouth didn't get on the board until inside the 5-minute mark first quarter, and then got back-to-back goals of their own from Reagan Lawton. 2-2 our score after 1. And then neither team could really get into a flow in that second quarter. It took a penalty. Portsmouth, with a player advantage, got a goal inside of 4 minutes from Emery Lawton, and that is where we are. Save upstairs. It's Molly Benson's second. It comes over the right shoulder, and that gets a rise out of the fans who made the drive from Amherst. Now Benson toiling behind the cage, defender in her face. The senior hounded from behind, poked loose momentarily. Now double-teamed in the corner, does hook up with Jacobs. The junior defender looking for speed on that far side. 2 players in pursuit. Challenge pass taken in by Eva Stiles, and then her pass ends up on the turf near the far sideline. Souhegan recovers. The Sabres now look to get their attack unit in place, hoping to tie this game here with 1.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter.
Even though Lawton was able to get a shot off there, you have to credit the defense again, because if you are playing further out, playing more aggressively, those are the kind of shots that you want to force and give your goalie a chance to make the save, which is exactly what happened.
Both senior goaltenders playing in their final game, win or lose. And both have looked pretty good, all things considered, through now 2+ quarters.
Yeah, Benson, who's headed to Mount St. Mary's, big save for her in this senior campaign.
Unofficially 2 stops for each goaltender. Meanwhile, Kennedy trying to break down this defense. Portsmouth not having it. In fact, we have a batted down pass here. Stevenson recovers. Stallkamp right on her. And then a bump here on the sideline goes against Elliot Blanketsop.
If I were to describe Stallkamp throughout this game, the past couple games, she's just athletic. She's all over the field. She's really solid in the clear. She's able to take up a lot of space, use those long legs. She's been an impact player defensively for sure. Part
of that talented junior class for Portsmouth. Meanwhile, 3 minutes in third quarter, collision in the corner. Stevenson caught up there with the defender Ava Burrows. Burrows, another college commit to Roger Williams, senior. And now the restart. Souhegan, 2 players behind the cage here. They scored 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes of the game, have been held off the scoreboard since. Kennedy, a split dodge. A shot is going to ring off the post. Curran took a shoulder and was knocked to the ground. The officials are going to keep it with Souhegan. We get one more look at that shot, just an inch or so off target. It stays 3-2 Portsmouth.
That call was a bit controversial with the crowd here. Many thinking that it would be Portsmouth's ball, but you got to play through it as a player. It's a call you don't like, doesn't matter.
Lanai Hickman, moving to her right, is going to snipe one in the corner and tie the game at 3. Well, Hickman has been a big part of this Sabre attack really all season. The junior there got the step and then let it rip.
Beautiful take by Hickman. She tucks underneath Curran and then is met by a second defender in Barrows. So she beats both of them, and she just remains really calm and has her eyes laser focused on the cage the whole time. And I think that speaks to, there's an interesting call. Portsmouth didn't like the call, but you have to forget that play and focus on defense. Souhegan kept playing, and that resulted in a goal.
Coach Bourdon having a word with one of her assistants at the bottom of the Souhegan bench, hoping her team can keep the momentum going at the draw circle instead. Nice job by Lawton. That's Emery Lawton. Took it out of the air on the wing, and then a series of spin moves. Gets her a little bit of open room on that far side. Clippers ready to settle in here. Over 4 minutes gone, third quarter. 3-3 here in the state championship. Reagan Lawton, 2 goals to her credit, make it 3. Took some contact on the release. It didn't matter. The hat trick for the junior. Portsmouth back in front 4-3.
That goal is just pure determination. She said, I'm going to put my team back in the lead. She dodges hard. Once again, handles the contact. That has been key to her game today. No matter who's swinging at you, pushing you, shoving you, she's going to play through it.
Lawton had back-to-back goals at the end of the first quarter and has the answer just 23 seconds after Lanai Hickman scored for Souhegan on the other end of the field. So 4-3. Hat trick for Reagan Lawton. Her sister Emery has the other goal for Portsmouth. 2 for Kennedy on the Souhegan side, with Hickman adding the third team goal just a moment ago.
I love the way that these teams celebrate with each other. After Lawton's goal, Portsmouth team was fired up.
Well, both teams seemingly in the halftime locker room were animated. It was loud. And I got the feeling that each squad was ready to head back onto the field, anxious to get that third quarter going. It's been energy. It's been a high-energy game here, as expected, with everything on the line. 2 teams red hot. Portsmouth winners of 17 straight. Souhegan has won 15 in a row. We get a penalty here against Elliot Blankensop. Sophomore attacker, a little too aggressive there on the face-off. Going to sit here for 2 minutes.
Yep, ref signaling contact to the head. So if you take a stick, make contact with the player's head, that's going to be a yellow card. So again, another 2-minute non-releasable penalty. So Souhegan will be a player up, and if they do score, ooh, that is not what you want to have happen as soon as you go woman up. So we had a Souhegan player step out of bounds, flirted with that sideline a little too closely, and now Portsmouth could potentially kill off this yellow card.
Short-handed, they're going to get the clear. Stallkamp trying to outrun the defender, tiptoes the boundary, and does find safety in the corner as we move toward the midway point of this third quarter. Portsmouth short-handed, but they've got a 4-3 lead.
So this is a similar situation to what we saw before, where Souhegan, if they want, they can chase and double team this ball. But do you want to spend those energy reserves and exert yourselves in that way to do so?
Emery Lawton denied. Benson able to shut it down, scramble to the corner, and another whistle as 2 players end up on the turf. Been a physical game.
It has been. So in this case, that was offsetting fouls. So both players in some way shoved each other. So when it's offsetting, they're going to go to alternate possession, which is the first one we've seen of the game. So Portsmouth has the first AP. If we were to have offsetting fouls again, we would see Souhegan take the ball.
That's a pretty rare call, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't see that often. Usually someone's at fault, but with a kind of collision like that, both going for the contested ground ball, tough to make a call.
Meanwhile, penalty clock ticking down. Portsmouth still with another 20 seconds of shorthanded action as they look to play keep away here. 2 defenders chasing Patterson, the Brown-bound senior.
Patterson's been quiet tonight.
Poked away there by Jacobs. The officials, though, are going to keep it at this end. And now we're going to get a timeout. Still 4 seconds remaining on the Clipper penalty. A timeout here by Portsmouth. It's going to stop the clock with just over 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Goals have been at a premium tonight. The goaltending has been good. The rides have been good. Some of those turnovers perhaps avoidable, but the defensive pressure has really been constant both ways, and As a result, we've got only a 4-3 score here with 5:14 to play in the third quarter.
So Coach Kerrigan from Portsmouth with this timeout, she wants to give her team a rest. Before they go even and Blankenship gets released, they can freshen up. They can talk about what they're going to do when they go even strength. They've done a solid job with keep away here, again, not having to work too hard, because I think, Souhegan is saying, let's not go all out for this. Because the other thing that you risk when you go and chase the ball like that and you're so spread out, you expose yourself in the middle. You get beat, you get dusted, all of a sudden it's a wide open lane to cage, despite being the player up.
Gorgeous night for championship lacrosse here on the Seacoast. Temperature still in the upper 80s here. Sun's starting to go down towards the tree line, but still pretty hot on this turf field. Fans have turned out in droves. A little shorter of a drive for the Clipper fans. They may have a 60-40 advantage, but still a strong Souhegan presence. And the crowd has been loud as well throughout the game, which is always fun here.
It has been, and great to see some alums back in the stand. I see Avery and Morgan Runke, who of course played at Portsmouth. They were names that you can't forget if you've been following New Hampshire lacrosse. 2 stars for the Clippers, who now play at Loyola University.
Set to resume. Portsmouth with possession, and 4 seconds remaining on the Blankenship penalty. The restart will come from the corner. 2 Souhegan defenders are there. Reagan Lawton with the ball in her stick, looking towards the official. Coach Spordoni is in her left ear. Lawton being driven towards the corner. The officials say back off, and we're back to even strength. Meanwhile, Reagan Lawton determined to get out in front of the goal and does it with the backhand. What a night for the junior. 1, 2, 3, 4 goals now for the UPenn commit. And Reagan Lawton has given the Clippers their largest lead at 5-3.
You see that camera shaking, you're wondering, was that an earthquake? No, the fans are fired up for the Reagan Lawton goal. Nick, you used the word determined. She's been determined all night. She is willing to do it herself. She's fighting through traffic, again, handling the pressure, and scores a funky but effective backhanded goal there.
Souhegan led 2-0 5 minutes into the game. Since then, a 5-1 run by Portsmouth, fueled by Reagan Lawton's 4 goals.
It's been a night where we haven't seen too much team offense, other than the first couple assisted goals that Souhegan scored to start the game. Most of these goals that we've seen have just been, one-woman show taking it to the cage. These Dodgers and these attackers showing what they can do.
Nice job by Kennedy. Got to the ground ball with one hand. Flicks it over to Hickman. Hickman is hit out in front of the cage. Ball goes out. No whistle. Still loose. Boussier, the goaltender, is now in the mix. Anybody's guess there on the far side wing. Reagan Lawton denied there. Stevenson snatches it at the last moment for Souhegan as the junior swings behind the cage. Just over 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Avery Lawton having a tough time with that bounce pass, and instead it's Stallkamp the other way for Portsmouth.
Stallkamp again, who has been making play after play for the Clippers, comes up with it. I like the way that the refs let them play. We didn't see any whistles there. It looked pretty clean to me. That's the kind of lacrosse that you love to see. Keeps the game fast.
Emery Lawton on the break, down the middle, hooks up with Bouvier, but her shot jammed up. Not sure if that was Benson or the defender Ben who foiled the plot there. Either way, good defensive effort near the cage to deny the shot.
Unselfish play there by Emery Lawton, looking for that extra pass to Bouvier.
I think Benson did get a piece. If that's the case, 3 saves each way for Benson and her counterpart Boussier for Portsmouth. Coming up on 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Souhegan hoping to cut Portsmouth's lead in half. Kennedy off the back foot, sails that one a bit high. It'll stay with the Sabres.
That's been a go-to look for Souhegan today, finding Kennedy on the inside. She's a dangerous cutter.
Stevenson in a crowd sweeps that one low to beat Boussier. First goal for Stevenson. Gives Souhegan a shot in the arm. It's 5-4 Portsmouth.
This is a look we've seen several times today now with a feed to the inside. This time, Izzy Stevenson handles some pressure on her back. You see she's got Lawton wanting to go for her stick, handles the pressure and finishes it low, and she is hyped for that goal. Cuts the lead within one.
Just inside of 3 minutes to go, third quarter. It's been a seesaw affair. Neither team is led by more than 2. Souhegan a slight edge unofficially in the draw circle. 6-5 so far.
Players on the circle have been really key with these draw controls because it's been a scrap to get the ground ball most of the time. They are fighting for these 50-50s.
As evidenced by what we just see here. Ultimately, it's Stevenson who swoops in to control for Souhegan. So the Sabres still need to clear it out of their own end. They will here with Jacobs. And now the Sabres a chance to tie things here with 2:30 to go, third quarter. Coach Bourdon clapping her hands at the head of the Sabre bench. Coach Kerrigan on the move, hoping to coach up the defense for Portsmouth. Two sisters who met last year in the championship. Of course, that was a Clipper win. Stevenson surrounded. And a whistle is going to set up what could be a free position shot here.
Yeah, so a couple of things that I'm seeing. They've now got Libby Kennedy face guarded, so trying to take her out of the play. But unfortunately, Ava Brunel on defense for the Clippers got caught in 3 seconds, which gives Izzy Stevenson a chance on the line, and she finishes.
Stevenson, the blazer below the knee, spikes the stick in celebration. We are tied at 5.
What a rip for Stevenson, and she is fired up. Throws that stick down like she would in a college game for that post-goal stick check. She's ready. She knows what to do.
It's like an end zone celebration.
I love it. She plays with just so much energy and passion, really. You can see that.
It's also the first free position shot goal we've seen either way here tonight. Comes with just inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Back-to-back goals from Stevenson. Souhegan has tied the game. Face-off, won by Portsmouth. Emery Lawton comes in from the wing. The junior absorbs a check. Eye on the cage, nothing there. Going to pull it back out. Coming downhill, Vincigara. Lefty, shot, score. Another quick answer. University of Pittsburgh bound Ginger Vincigara puts Portsmouth back in front 6-5.
That's the thing with this Portsmouth team. They can pretty much score at will if they play hard and play fast like that. Ginger Vincigara does a great job. She dodges hard left. Again, she's got tons of contact coming at her, even a back check attempt from Stevenson. But she still gets her arms away from her body and finishes off stick side hip, which is a near impossible save for Benson to make. So great shot placement.
Vincigara's first goal tonight comes at a good time for Portsmouth. $1:32 to go, third quarter. 6-5 Clippers. This one up in the air. Gonna roll near side, and in position to scoop is Blankensop. Took a little bit of a bump there from Stevenson. And while the officials are going to talk about this, Blankensop now given the green light.
So after a foul like that, when the officials whistle, even though you can self-start, the player who committed the foul still has to show intent to give that 4 meters of space. So Stevenson was encroaching on that, so the refs are going to make sure they get set with the proper spacing before restarting.
Final minute, third quarter. It's been a fun one to call here. Nick Anastas, Kristen Cameron with you from Bill Ball Stadium in Exeter. Portsmouth looking to cap off an undefeated season and capture their third straight Division I state championship. Souhegan hoping to avenge last year's title game loss, bring home the trophy for the first time in nearly a decade. 30 seconds to go, third quarter.
The officials there, the foul was against Vinciguerra, so that's why they're going to reset that with her there.
Tic-tac-toe. Portsmouth got the shot they wanted, but ends up high. Now Vinciguerra trying to beat the clock here. This one about a foot over the crossbar, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Well, it's anybody's guess as we make the final turn. Will it be Portsmouth? Can they cap off an undefeated season? Is their 6-5 lead safe enough? Or does Souhegan come back like they did on Saturday against Pinkerton to win their first state title since 2017? The end of the season is on the other side. You are watching the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship game right here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse, not just in the state, but in the country. For over 20 years, 95% of New Hampshire All-Americans have been Tomahawks. Looking to get recruited? Their directors help each athlete find the right college fit through individual guidance, strong relationships, and consistent communication with college coaches. The New Hampshire Tomahawks offer year-round training camps and leagues for ages 3 to 18, and spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Fourth quarter here in Exeter. Souhegan trailing Portsmouth by a score of 6-5 here in the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship game. We're broadcasting here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in conjunction with the NFHS Network. Nick Anastas, along with Kristen Cameron. This one has been back and forth. Clippers trailed 2-0. Souhegan, the first two from Libby Kennedy in the opening 5 minutes of the game. Portsmouth responded with 3 straight to lead by a score of 3-2 at halftime. Souhegan tied the game at 3 midway through that third quarter. And then Reagan Lawton strung together 2 in a row, giving Portsmouth a brief 5-3 lead. Even Izzy Stevenson, the junior for Souhegan, had the answer, an even strength goal and then a free position shot. Found the net with inside of 2 minutes to go, 5-5 apiece. And then just a moment ago, Ginger Vinciguerra put Portsmouth back in front. The story has been Reagan Lawton. 4 goals for the Clippers. Souhegan has gotten 2 apiece, as I mentioned, from Stevenson and Kennedy. Things have been basically even in the draw circle. Souhegan a slight advantage there, but as we get set for the final 12 minutes of regulation, it's anybody's guess here in Exeter.
It sure is, with a 1-goal differential headed into the fourth quarter. This is all about who has the fight to win. This is either team's game.
Off the turnover, Stahlkamp with the clear for the Clippers, being ridden behind the cage. Took a couple of shots that upset the fans. Energetic atmosphere here at Bilbao Stadium. The fans have turned out as expected, in particular on the Portsmouth side.
So things we're seeing here, Souhegan still pressed out. We see the Stevenson and Emery Lawton matchup has been consistent all game. Kind of funny to see the ones and the twos matched up.
Yeah. Shot, score. It's Blankensop. Nice pass. Finds Blankensop on the doorstep, and the sophomore is her first goal of the game, 7-5 Portsmouth.
We knew we'd hear Elliot Blankensop's name at some point tonight. She's such a role player for this Clippers attack. Good job by Lawton. Moves the ball to the inside, and then Blankensop there. She catches it with her right hand, but feels that pressure on that side of her body. She switches it to her left where she's got the space and is able to finish to give her team a 2-goal lead.
Tough thing to do on the move, right?
It is. That's like that is having good field awareness. A good skill to have heading into a big recruiting summer for Blankensop.
Portsmouth matches their largest lead from earlier, 7-5. A little bit of breathing room for the undefeated and top-seeded Portsmouth High School. Souhegan looking for an answer off the draw. They'll get it from Stevenson, who's been a ground ball machine for Souhegan. Long pass nearly went out of bounds. Good hustle by Highmark to keep it with the Sabres. Coach Spordone roaming the sideline, trying to direct the attack. Does not like this development. Pass knocked down, and then a push goes against Souhegan.
Who is it? Haley Stahlkamp again. She has been my defensive player of the game so far. She just has such a presence on the field and has great awareness to knock that pass down.
The junior midi made a difference for her squad. Meanwhile, the clear is completed by the Oregon University-bound Maddie Houghton. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Portsmouth looking to build on a 2-goal lead. Meanwhile, from Souhegan, what do we see here defensively? Trailing by 2 with the clock starting to become a bit of a factor.
So you don't want to play too high pressure just yet because 2 goals can quickly snowball if they expose themselves. But looks like they are playing it out a bit tighter.
There's a bouncer. Ends up wide from Bouvier. It'll stay with Portsmouth despite some good hustle from Souhegan.
The big thing defensively here is just make it a little bit harder for Portsmouth to move the ball. So sticks in the passing lanes, a little bit more pressure on the passer.
Meanwhile, Bouvier, Quinnipiac bound. Nowhere for the junior to go. Vincigaro will try it. Back to Bouvier. Split dodge, trying to run the gauntlet, draws contact, and that's a charge.
That is a charge, and it has...
Meanwhile, we have a green card being handed out here.
I'm trying to figure out who the green card is issued to.
We get a look at the replay. See some contact, then the official, Dave Pelletier, blew the whistle. This one knocked down, intercepted. Reagan Lawton. Portsmouth has numbers. On the doorstep, Bouvier, sweeper. Shot, score, and it's 8-5. Well, there's that Portsmouth ride. They produce the turnover. They cash in on the transition opportunity. Goal number 8 on the board for the top seed and the biggest lead of the game now facing Souhegan 8-5.
How about that for Bouvier? When your teammates have your back, you get called with that charge, and Lawton comes up with the interception, then feeds you, and Bouvier gets one right back. That is the way that you have to play in this type of game. You can't let the last play affect you. You've got to focus on the next play, and Portsmouth did just that.
Meanwhile, if you're Souhegan, you're in a tough spot here with 3.5 gone by fourth quarter.
You know, I think you asked me a mere 2 minutes ago, what do they start to do? Now I changed my mind.
Okay.
Now you've down 3, where Portsmouth is hot right now. They're definitely feeling like the team with momentum. You've got to get the ball back.
And a crucial draw on the way. It's been Vince Segarra against Emmy Curran. This one is won by Portsmouth. Nice job by Lawton again. Reagan on the wing.
Reagan Lawton has certainly been a key player at this game, not just with her 4 goals, but the way that she's clearly a leader for the Portsmouth team. After they get this possession, she wins that draw control. She signals to everyone, hey, slow down, settle down.
Contact here. Comes with nearly 4 minutes gone by fourth quarter. The restart for Emery Lawton. There's a shot on the move from Vince Segarra. Wanted a call, won't get it. Does get the backup, and Portsmouth is ready to crack again. Clippers trailed 2-0, 5 minutes into the game. Came back to take a 3-2 lead at halftime. A 6-5 lead going into this fourth quarter, which has ballooned now to 8-5. And another whistle coming against the Sabre defense.
Ginger Vince Segarra relentless in there. Doesn't get the call that she wanted before, but she perseveres. She keeps playing tough, and this time that contact is too much. Puts her on the line.
Chance here to put her team up 4 for the first time. Charges the cage and cashes in. That's now 4 unanswered goals by Portsmouth, and a 9-5 lead is on the board. Coach Bordone has seen enough. Timeout, Souhegan.
Not only did Portsmouth have the momentum, but they're having fun. They're pumping up the crowd right now. Their fans are on their feet. They've got their people behind them, and it is showing in the way that they are playing. They're playing so much looser than they were at the start of the game. And that run that they've just gone on, they won draw controls. That makes such a difference. They've really, they may not all have been clean wins between the 30s, but they found a way to get the ball.
Meanwhile, for Souhegan, really do or die time now, trailing by 4 for the first time, and have been held off the board so far in this fourth quarter. You mentioned trying to dial up the defensive intensity and, get some of those crucial draws to go their way. But on the attack, what can they do here to get, now 4 goals in the final 7-16 to try and tie the game?
They have to play fast at this point. With over 40 minutes passed so far in the game, and they've only scored 5 goals. So they're averaging about a goal every 8 minutes. So if we do the math, that's not going to work for them with just over 7 minutes remaining in the game. They have to play fast. So if they get that ball, expect to see them going hard to the cage.
Reminder, we're just getting going here on Championship Tuesday. The Girls Division II State Championship comes your way at 7:30 Eastern between defending champion Winnicott and Hanover. We'll have that coverage right here. And post-game, we have the awards ceremony, which is always nice. Sending off the seniors in a big way. And the thing about, Kristen, these two programs is that the future is very bright. They're going to lose some key contributors of this 2026 senior class, but the strength really on both rosters, maybe with that junior class who is slated to come back next season.
Yeah, the junior class has been such a foundation for this team. Obviously, of course, in conjunction with the leadership of these seniors, but if I'm both of these coaches, both these programs have very bright futures ahead.
Key draw win for Souhegan. They need possession. Got 7 minutes to work here. They're down 9-5. Emmy Curran took her eye off it, dropped it, recovers, tries to cycle back middle. Hooks up with Kennedy. Kennedy. Back door. Shot, swallowed up. It's Boussier, another save. 4 saves unofficially for the Portsmouth senior. None bigger than that one there.
That save has Coach Kerrigan jumping for joy on the sidelines, fired up by a crucial save. That is the kind of play from Souhegan that could have started a run for them. That's the kind of goal that fires. It's a juice goal. Could have been.
Yep.
But Boussier said, not today.
We hit the midway point, fourth quarter. Portsmouth in the driver's seat with a 9-5 lead, looking for their third straight Division I championship, hoping to cap off the season with their 18th straight win and finish the deal undefeated under Coach JoJo Kerrigan, who has been really instrumental, not just this season, but building up this Portsmouth program to where it is.
Now on the flip side here, where Souhegan wants to play fast offensively, Portsmouth does not.
Right.
The clock is their friend. Running this clock down is something that you practice end of game scenarios. 5 minutes is a long time to kill the clock, but I expect them to just be a lot more patient with their offense right now, only going to goal if it is more of a sure thing.
They're okay with this right here, right?
Yeah, I mean, Emery Lawton, if she's not challenged, she could, jog around the rest of these 5 minutes.
As we know, no shot clock in the NHIAA. Swung near side. Bouvier can't reel it in, and pouncing on it is Jacobs, who has played well here tonight for Souhegan. Jacobs avoids a few defenders, trying to find Avery Curran, who scoops it up on the move for the Sabres. Inside of 5 minutes, Avery Curran to the middle. Lefty shot, knocked down. Boussier, another save. Quick outlet as well to Reagan Lawton. She's got the clear, and here come the Clippers yet again, still in front 9-5.
Sage Boussier has her team's back today.
Meanwhile, Reagan Lawton lost her stick, tried to kick the ball. Stevenson takes it the other way for Souhegan. Sabres have numbers if they push. Up ahead for Hickman. Hickman, shot, save, Boussier. Well, 3 saves here over the last couple of minutes for the Portsmouth senior, who has saved her best stuff for the final quarter of her career.
3 killer saves in 3 minutes. It's exactly what her team needed.
Got a timeout here. Coach Kerrigan is going to use her final timeout with 3:47 remaining to go over the game plan as Portsmouth looks to close this one down. 15-0 during the regular season. A quarterfinal blowout win over Bedford, a lopsided victory over Exeter in the semis. Had to work tonight against Souhegan, but a big second half has them, well, just potentially now 347 away from their third straight Division I championship.
This timeout gives the Clippers a chance to talk about how they want to finish this game. This is, at the end of the day, we're competitors, but this New Hampshire lacrosse community is their friends, their family. We've seen there's a lot of sisters out there.
Sure are.
And so, you want to finish with integrity, and at the end of the day, it's all about sportsmanship. So both teams are gonna finish strong, but if you're Portsmouth, you're tempted to start that celebration a little bit early.
Meanwhile, for Souhegan, if they do fall short here tonight, still a remarkable season under Coach Spordone. 15-1 during the regular season. They blew past Bishop Girton 11-2 and then came from behind to beat Pinkerton in overtime. 2 straight trips to the Division I championship, and, well, a majority of this talented roster coming back next season. Going to be disappointing if they do fall tonight, but certainly what they've accomplished this season is pretty impressive.
It sure is, and they're a team that has a lot of youth. It is so encouraging to see their impressive sophomore class as well, who they're going to have a lot to build on heading into next season, but let's not count them out with 3:47 to go.
So it'll be Clipper possession as they look to grind down this clock here. 3:47 remaining fourth quarter. Reminder, after the game, we'll have live coverage of the awards ceremony down on the field. That includes the presentation of the runner-up medals and the state championship trophy, the plaque, I suppose, will be given to the winner. Full recap, stats, highlights, and a preview of the upcoming Division II state championship between Winnicott and Hanover. That's all after the game. Shot, score, Emery Lawton. It's now 5 unanswered goals by Portsmouth, and they lead by 5, 10-5, with 3:38 to go fourth quarter.
With that Emery Lawton goal, Clippers officially double up the Sabres with a 10-5 lead. Emery Lawton said, why not put a cherry on top of this one?
Her second goal tonight. Not sure if that was by design.
Yeah, that's
by Coach Kerrigan. Went right for the throat there out of the timeout.
Watching that one back, she had the space and the time.
Yeah.
So, given that kind of open lane, and that's what happens when you are in these situations where you're trying to kill the clock. You're spread out. Defense is pressed down a bit more. If someone does decide to dodge like Lawton just did there, she exposes the defense. That space is not to your advantage. Your slides are further away. Just much harder to stop a high-powered dodger like Lawton was.
This one ends up with Stevenson for Souhegan. Sabres have to hurry. 3.5 to play in regulation. This Portsmouth defense seemingly, Kristen, has gotten better as the game has gone on. They kept Souhegan off the board the entire second quarter and are trying to do the same here in the fourth.
They really have. One of the underrated players of this game has been Maddie Houghton. She has been running around all game as that backer in the zone, which is a tireless job. You've got to follow wherever the ball is. And many people, they're not seeing you. They're not seeing that work that you're putting in there, but it is effective.
Meanwhile, the shot was jammed up, and the foot race is won by Portsmouth. Good hustle again by Boussier, who comes out of the cage. Clippers now looking to work right to left. Looking up into the sun here as the shadows continue to grow in this fourth quarter. 2.5 to play.
And here's Maddie Houghton, that unsung hero on defense, coming up with a great clear despite pressure from Souhegan. And this is, Souhegan, they're desperate to get the ball back. And this is where you can start to see some more physical play, some chippy play with a bit less discipline during that desperation. But they had a clean takeaway there.
Portsmouth wanted a whistle. Not going to get it. Souhegan with less than 2 minutes remaining, trying to work out of their own end. Meanwhile, this Clipper ride has been as relentless as ever on this possession. Here's Ben looking to get the step. Gets to midfield. That clock really now working against Souhegan. Final 95 seconds. Avery Curran to her sister Emmy. Shot and score. A transition goal there. Pedal to the metal maybe too little too late, but Souhegan still swinging here, now trailing 10-6.
The Curran connection on the run. Avery finds Emmy open in the 8-meter. They're not giving up. That is one thing this Sabres team will not do. They've got a minute 29 left, and they are going to fight to the end, giving it their all, leaving their best on the field.
That goal comes nearly 12 minutes of game time. After the previous Souhegan goal, it also ends a streak of 5 unanswered from Portsmouth. Minute 29 remaining. Still a big lead for the Clippers, 10-6. Ground ball takes a few bounces for, again, it's Stevenson on the scene for the Sabres. It's one area where Souhegan has had a slight advantage in the draw circle. Unofficially 13-9. Meanwhile, Hickman hooks up with Kennedy, and we are down to 1 minute remaining here in the championship. Pass broken up, scooped up in the cage by Boussier, and the Clippers have it.
That possession that caused turnover and that Boussier clear, that should seal the deal here for Portsmouth.
A back check is going to put this one in play. Ball rolling to that far sideline. And poked over to Emmy Curran. Finds Kennedy, but Souhegan fighting a losing battle here with 25 seconds remaining. Kennedy goes sprawling, and we've got a penalty. Houghton, the Oregon commit, a little too aggressive there. No argument from the senior, and in fact, she gets a standing O. Portsmouth 15-0 during the regular season. 2 blowout victories coming into the championship. And now 19 seconds away from a 3rd straight Division I title. Kennedy, a good effort. Shot goes wide left. Souhegan is going to fall short in the final round for the 2nd straight season. It's the year of the Clippers. Portsmouth, your 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I state champions. Undefeated. A 3-peat for Coach Kerrigan and company. And a 10-6 victory in the state championship over Souhegan. That's their 18th straight win. As they fly the Portsmouth flag at midfield here in Exeter. Tremendous game, tremendous season, and a tremendous effort both ways by Portsmouth in victory and Souhegan in defeat.
A perfect season for Portsmouth comes to a close. They are just such a fun team to watch. They're so talented. They play so well together. They're clearly passionate, care a lot about each other, and those are the kind of characteristics that make for a winning team and a winning program now with their 4th straight championship appearance and their 3rd win. But really, credit to Souhegan for an incredible game that they battled to take a 2-0 lead and come out the way that they did. They wanted this game. They were capable, but they just fell short today.
The Sabres see their 15-game win streak come to an end. Just 2 total losses tonight and back on April the 20th, both, of course, against Portsmouth. The good news for Coach Bordone, she's returning many of the players on the roster, including a strong junior class slated to be seniors. Got as good a shot as anybody is getting back to the spot next season. And for Portsmouth, well, again, the future is bright as well. Vince Aguero will graduate. They'll lose Barrows. They'll lose Addie Delisle. They'll lose Lily Patterson. You mentioned Maddie Houghton. Lily Ramson and Sage Boussier, the goaltender, but both Emery and Reagan Lawton coming back. Blankensop a highly recruited player you expect this summer. And, well, a slew of juniors that potentially could get that opportunity as seniors next year. So the bottom line, both these programs very healthy post-2026.
They are, and it's just going to be better next year. With another summer of club lacrosse that they'll have under their belts, they are just going to get better. And all of these players, especially the Lawtons, they train relentlessly. They work so hard in the off season, and so I just know that they will come back even better next year.
All right, take us down to the sidelines, Kristen. We'll start with Souhegan as they get their runner-up medal from Coach Spordone, but you've been on both sides of the coins, right? You win, you feel that joy. You lose, it's that sorrow. What are some of the emotions you think are going on down there for both sidelines?
Yeah, as Souhegan, you're certainly sad to have lost this one. You were the underdogs and, wanting to get that revenge after a loss to Portsmouth last year. But, I think it's sad to see your seniors go. You'll never play with this same team again. For some of these players heading on to college, others, this is the end of your lacrosse career as you know it. And so, it's certainly an emotional time, but a season to be celebrated at the same.
How about the coaches? What are they thinking down there? Two sisters, obviously. This one will be talked about around the dinner table for the next year or so, but Coach Spordone for Souhegan got to be proud of her girls, and certainly Coach Kerrigan is thrilled to bring home another championship.
Most definitely. Only one team can hold the trophy at the end of the season, but just to have the privilege of playing against each other, you make it as far as you can, and so that is certainly bragging rights for their families.
So, one by one, the Clippers give Coach Kerrigan a hug. They get their gold medal. And I'm sure a fun night of celebrating ahead for the state champions. They do it for a third straight year, a three-peat, completing an undefeated season with their 18th straight victory tonight by a final score of 10-6. We're just getting warm here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and the NFHS Network. We've got the Division II state championship game on the way. That one's slated for 7:30. They start a few minutes late, but you can already see both Hanover and Winnicott. They're out of the tunnel, and they're starting to get warm down on the field. So our coverage resumes in about 20 minutes or so with Winnicott and Hanover competing for the D2 crown. For my partner, Kristen Cameron, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Portsmouth 10, Souhegan 6. This has been a presentation of the 2026 NHIAA Girls Lacrosse Division I State Championship game here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, broadcasted in conjunction with the NFHS Network.